In just a little over an hour and a half, I would have met 72 hours for this week in our fast. Just so excited to be here. As you know, I have been doing the fast 72 hours or more, depending on the week. This week we are shooting for 72 hours, as we do on a weekly basis. And I'm talking to adults with type 2 diabetes, the adults who want to put their diabetes in remission, who want to get off of medications, who want to reverse their diabetes. Hey, I'm Dr. Dwain Woode. If you're new to me, I am an endocrinologist. The E stands for endocrinology. Here on the channel, I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health in your life, avoid complications, and go to the next level. In this year, new you. And we have been in the community using a powerful tool called fasting to improve our metabolic health and to reverse our diabetes. And as we do here on the show, you're going to see here in just a little while what my meters are showing. Got them off to the side. I've got my report, so you'll see what my blood sugars have been doing. We're going to check our ketones, and we're going to do a check-in to see how I am doing physically. We had a power outage earlier. I was in the middle of shooting some video as I prepare for some of the other shows that we're going to be doing, and it was just exciting to well, not exciting that the power went out, but exciting to do the shows or do the videos that I was working on. In a little, like I said, a little less than an hour and a half now, an hour and 26 minutes, I would have met 72 hours in this week's fast. And, you know, some of the things that I was cooking, they smelled good, y'all. I had my son taste some of it so that he can tell me how it tasted. And I'm not sure what I'm going to break my fast with, but I wanted to come on and do a quick check-in to let you know what has been going on with me. So let's hop over and let's do a check-in. All right, as you know, I always talk about how I'm feeling physically, mentally, and emotionally. And physically, I am tired. I'm tired. I was in the kitchen for most of the afternoon, and then the power went out. And so I had to make a decision. Do I keep going? Well, I had to keep cooking. I didn't catch some of it on the video, but that's okay. And then, so I was in the kitchen, it was hot, and it is now, 10:30, a little after 10:30, and so I need to get to bed. So I'm feeling tired, not necessarily weak or fatigued as a result of fasting, but just been doing a lot today, went out earlier, did some stuff at church, came home, we went to the grocery store, started cooking and so forth. So feeling a little tired and just want to get some rest. Mentally, I am feeling clear. Even as I was going through the instructions for cooking, right? Because I'm putting together those recipes so that we can share them. Just kind of making sure that I dotted my I's and crossed my T's to make sure that all of those things are in order. And then coming here to get ready for the show, for this check-in, and doing all the things that I need to do. I'm not feeling foggy, not feeling any dullness or any mental cloudiness. I guess let me go through that. And then emotionally, actually feeling fairly good, right? So I'm at the end of the week. We've got some rest for this weekend, not a lot of things going on. I do have one thing that I've got to take care of tomorrow, and then on Sunday, just kind of relaxing with the family. We're actually going to be hanging out with some friends, a bunch of friends, and doing some water activities, right? So that's going to be fun, and so I'm looking forward to that in terms of how I'm feeling emotionally, and then always happy to be here in this space with you. So that always gives me joy, and so emotionally, actually feeling pretty good. I do see one of our community members out there, so let me just do a quick shout out. And so Jennifer said, howdy all. I completed a 49-hour fast this week. Felt good. Jennifer, what? You get a hand clap and some music. That is amazing, Jennifer. Congratulations on the 49-hour fast. I love that. Now, is that the longest that you have done, Jennifer? I think you've done a longer one in the past. Is that the Put that in the chat, in the comments. Say yes, yes or no. And someone was asking me just this week, was it this week or last week, about doing longer fast or shorter fast. And so, one of the things that I always say is that the fasting that you're doing is simply a tool, and the tool adjusts based on where you are. And so, was it a couple of weeks ago, I did a longer fast. Back in March, I did a shorter fast, and so we just do the fast as we need them. One of the things that I have been learning to do is that idea of adjusting the fast, right? So, do I need to do a 72-hour fast every week? No. Can I do a 49-hour? Can I do a 36-hour fast? And the answer is yes. And it depends on where you are and what you are looking for in terms of your health. Awesome. So just wanted to do a shout out to Jennifer there. I do see folks over on Instagram. Thank you for hanging out. If you are on any of the other social media platforms, let somebody know, hey, that we're doing this. And then if you're watching this on the replay, go ahead and put replay in the comments so that we know that this is where you are. All right, so let's take a look at what my monitors are showing, and you'll see there on the screen that this is my Dexcom, says that right now my blood sugar is 65, and it's been kind of straddling 70 and just right below 70 for most of the day. If I look at my Libre, it says that right now I'm 59, and it has also for most of the day been straddling or been running right below 70. Actually, it's been more below 70, probably 60s, maybe 60, 65. One of the interesting things that happened, or one of the interesting things that happened to me today, and it's been happening more and more. As you know, I wear 2 monitors. I have a Dexcom and I have a Libre, and usually, well, because it's warmer out, I'm wearing t-shirts or short sleeve shirts, and so people can see them. And so a lady stopped me today at the grocery store. I was over at Publix, and she says, hey, can I ask you a question? I said, sure. She said, I see that you have 2 monitors on. Why do you have 2 monitors on? And so we actually stood there and we talked for about a good 15 minutes. She was telling me some of her what was going on with her. And so that was exciting to be able to share and to be able to answer questions. And like I said, more and more that's starting to happen where people are asking me, and so I'm able to share with them what's going on with me and let them know about this community. So anyway, so 59 is what the Libre is saying, with 59.60 now. Let's go ahead and let's take a look at what my monitors are showing. As you know, I have a Keto Mojo that does both the glucose and also does ketones. I have my Contour that just does the glucose. So let's go ahead and get those monitors out, or get the Lancets out and the test strips. Let's get that one. And so this is for the Contour. And I'm going to move the strip for the ketone out of the scene and go ahead and put the one for the Keto Mojo for the glucose. And then just a bunch of lancing devices and lancet. So I'm going to grab one out. And this is a spring-loaded one. Right, so basically you have to break off this top part. And so let's go ahead and turn that. And as I turn it, that breaks off. And then when I press that spring, the lancet that's on the inside will come out. So let's get a good press against that finger and go ahead and press it. And hopefully that was a good poke. And so I'll need 3 drops. So 1 for the Keto Mojo, 1 for the Contour, and then of course I'll have to come back with another one for the ketones. Okay, so 68 for the Contour, 78 for the Keto Mojo, and then on the screen, of course, you see the Freestyle. So let's go ahead and get this strip out. Go ahead and put the strip for the ketones in, and then go ahead and get that started. All right. And as I always do, I tease you guys. Don't let you see that quite yet. What do you think my ketones are going to be? So I've been fasting now, just about to approach 71 hours. What do you think the ketones are going to be? Yeah, just go ahead and put that in the chat. While that's running, let's hop over and let's take a look at what my Dexcom report is saying. And let's take a look at here. All right. Oh, I showed the Okay, you saw it, right? You saw it. Did you see it? That's okay. That's okay. All right. So let's see. So my average blood sugar over the last 14 days, according to my monitor, according to my report, has been 106. 106. If I do a 90 day, then my average blood sugar is 104, and I am in target 91% of the time, with target being 70 to 180. I usually tell my patients to shoot for actually 100 to 120, so a little narrower. It says that my glucose management indicator, which is a surrogate for my A1C, is 5.8. And in fact, when we got our A1C several weeks ago, it was 5.8. Let's see if I can hop over and let's see, where was that? Yeah, there it is, right in the middle of the screen. You'll see right there 5.8. That's when we did our show about labs that you should be getting checked. Okay, so 5.8 is my estimated, and actually that's what it was. Let's go ahead and take a look at our daily graphs, and we're going to go back and I started the fast on Tuesday night or Wednesday morning at midnight, which, right, it's right about here. So at that time, blood sugar was 146 right at midnight, and that continued to go down, and then a big spike here. Well, let's back up for a minute, because remember, I ate here in the evening, and so probably all that we're seeing here is that spike. And then blood sugars continue to go down as we continued into the fast. And so Wednesday morning to Thursday morning, right? So that's 24 hours. So 24 hours right here. 48 hours brings us into Friday morning. Look at that blood sugar, 83. And then here in just a little while, in 1 hour and 14 minutes, we would be at 72 hours. Okay, and look at the blood sugars. The blood sugar continually drops throughout the course of the day, with little spikes here and there. Okay, and for most of the afternoon has been below 70 or right at 70. Right. And so, so love that, because that means that my body, and we're going to see here in just a minute what my ketones are, to tell you that my body is now burning fat and converting that to ketones for energy. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's look at that. I think you may have seen a little bit of it when I was changing scenes. So let's get this out of the way. I'll have to go ahead and turn this monitor back on and then get my Keto Mojo app. Let's pull that up here. And you'll see that say syncing here in just a minute. There you go, syncing in progress. And so it pulls over, so glucose of 78. Glucose of 78 was what the meter said, and my ketones were 1.7, 78 and 1.7. Right here, if I look at the graph of those numbers, the turquoise line is ketones, and then the tan line is blood sugar. So as the blood sugars have gone down, the ketones have gone up. right? So here blood sugar was 94 with ketones that were down at 0.2, and then blood sugars dropped to 87 with ketones of 0.8. That was yesterday, last night when we did our check-in. And then now ketones are 1.7 with blood sugar down at 78. And in terms of ketones, remember, ketones that are less than 0.5 are considered normal, 0.5 to 1.5 considered nutritional ketosis, and then above 1.5 considered therapeutic ketosis. So we're above 1.5 right now. And all those beneficial things that we say happen, if you've not watched one of our review of fasting, go back and watch that. But just to kind of give you, let's see, where is that? Just to kind of give you an idea. So fasting, there are several phases that I talk about: preparing for the fast, and then the fast itself, and then breaking the fast. So preparing for the fast, making sure you're hydrated, making sure you're rested, making sure that you are not planning anything stressful or coming out of a stressful event or stressful time. Not a good time to fast. And then the fasting itself, I typically break it up into 24-hour chunks, 24 hours, then 48 hours, then 72 hours, and longer if you are doing more extended fast. And then, of course, breaking the fast, very important, because how you break the fast is very integral in determining the success long-term of the fast. Because if you break the fast with things that are highly processed, highly refined, high carbs, then remember, in order to treat the blood sugar, that spike that happens from that, then your body has to produce insulin, or you have to take insulin exogenously. If that happens, your appetite is stimulated. As soon as insulin comes out, it begins storing energy, which is weight gain, and your appetite continues to be ravenous, and you end up undoing some of the things that you did in the first place during the fasting. So preparing for the fast itself, and then breaking the fast, those are the main phases of the fasting process. All right, awesome. So love when ketones go up, because that means that I am burning fat, which brings me to one of the other tools that we've been using and that you guys have been kind of tracking with me, and that is my Fit Index. And so you'll see there my weight on the screen, 182. And down below, you'll see all of those parameters that we've been kind of working to improve, right? So body fat is 22.6%. My free fat body weight is 141.4. Muscle mass, 134. Skeletal muscle, 50 kilograms. And then weight, right, like I've said, is 182.4. BMI is 26.1. And so a BMI of 25 is considered normal. 26.1 is about 7 pounds over the weight in order to get the BMI down to 25. Okay, and so those are the parameters, and these all are side effects of managing diabetes. Those are side effects of becoming glycemically improved, of handling metabolic disease, of improving all of those. And the side effect of that is the weight loss. So people ask me all the time, well, what are you doing? Well, what I'm doing is I'm managing my diabetes. And as a result of that, then the weight improves. And if you're out there right now and you're saying, well, wait a minute, I'm not diabetic, so this stuff doesn't apply to me. Not true, because the things that we do, new year, new you, all the processes that we do are also beneficial for those people who are not diabetic, because it improves high blood pressure, high cholesterol, obesity, coronary artery disease, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, metabolic syndrome, and on and on and on. All those things improve with the process that we are talking about. If you've not done so, you can get over to our YouTube channel. Let me go ahead and pull that up. And on the YouTube channel, there are several playlists that we've created. The one that has all of the shows that we do on our main show on Monday night is entitled How to Reverse Your Diabetes. And right now there are 33 episodes, and that's all the shows that we've done over the course on Mondays over the course of this year, right? So that's one playlist. Another playlist that's out there is the one that's called How to Fast Successfully. How to Fast Successfully. All right, so that one has all of the, well, right now it doesn't have all of them. I got to put some more in there. All of the check-ins that we're doing on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all those check-ins are there. One of the things that we've been doing over the course of this past week, trying out some new things, is you will see that several of our shows have been recasted. Right, so we did the show on Monday, and then we recast that on Wednesday at 4 o'clock. And then we recast that this morning or yesterday morning, Friday at 9 o'clock. When we did our check-in, the check-in was played, and then we recast that later on. So we're trying to get some of those shows out to people who may not be able to make it at the time that we are here. Just something we're trying. If you like that, go ahead and drop in the comments. In fact, drop in the comments what time is best for you, right? And so we may recast that show at that particular time for you. But at any rate, whenever the show is coming on, make sure you catch it, right? So we'd love for you to be here on the live so we can interact. And in fact, I was on one of the recasts, and we had a great time interacting with several of our community members as that was that recast was coming on. If you are catching it on a recast, or if you're catching a replay, because the recast is a live recast, so it's being played as it's being streamed. If you're catching it either on the recast or on the replay, go ahead and drop a note and let us know where you are in the process of New Year, New You. Okay, because we are heading into a better metabolic state, right? So that's our goal. All right. I am always excited when I get to spend some time with you in this space and to be able to share this information and for us to be able to move in a direction together to improve our health. I want to, of course, talk to you about the unlimited potential that is at your fingertips. Education, empowerment, encouragement, all of the things that we talk about, all of the metabolic improvement, all of the glycemic improvement, the reversing of diabetes, the reversing or getting off of medication, all of that is with the tools, the education, and the encouragement that we are providing here on the channel. You have unlimited ability. You have unlimited potential to improve and make changes in your life. You may have done some things, made some decisions in the past where right now you are getting some of the consequences, you're getting some of the side effects of those decisions. That doesn't mean that you can't make decisions going forward to improve your health. It is never too late to improve your health. Every little bit that you do is beneficial. That's why I say to people, one of the things that we've been challenging people to do is to do a 24-hour fast once a week, right, as a start. And then if you can, to progress and move to a more extended fast. I've had people say to me, oh, right now doing a 12-hour fast is tough for me, or doing a 16-hour fast, or doing an 18-hour fast is tough for me. That's okay. You start where you are and you improve over time. I tell the story of someone who contacted me earlier in the year and said that they had failed. They had not made it to 72 hours. And I said, well, how long did you go? They said 60 hours, 60 hours. And I said, that is not a failure, right? That is not a failure. We're always looking for progress, right? If you used to fast for 8 hours and now you're fasting for 10, guess what? That is progress. If you used to fast for 12 hours and now it's 13, that is progress. Our goal is to get you to 24 once a week and then from there to improve. But that doesn't mean that because you're not at 24 that's a failure. The unlimited potential that's at your fingertips. The question is, how do we tap into that? How do we harness that? You harness that with education, with empowerment and encouragement. And that's what we do here on the show, on the channel. We educate all the shows that we do, all of the blogs that we write, all of the podcasts that we do are with the intention of providing education, because we've got to have a mindset change. We've got to have a frame shift. We've got to have a growth mindset. And that comes by getting more information about how the body works, about how you can improve your metabolic health, and how you can set yourself up for success. We educate, we empower. The empowerment comes from the tools, all the tools that we're learning. The heat model, which we'll talk about here in just a minute. Fasting is an amazing tool, and all of the shows that we do to refine that, to give you information about how fasting works in your body. Emotional intelligence and the ability to tap in to find out where you are, right? Because that ties into the heat model. Being able to create a menu, a 7-day menu. We did that. That was one of the tools that we learned. So all of those tools are with the intention of helping you to implement the things that you learn under the education arm. So we educate, we empower with tools, and then we encourage. And the encouragement comes from the community that you are a part of. The community that happens when you show up here on the live, when you watch the replay, when you watch the recast, when you share your information, when you share your story, your successes, your struggles, the places where you're having humps, where you're having some setbacks. A couple of days ago, I came on and I shared with you that I was involved in a little fender bender, and it threw my fasting plans off. Right? So just because that happened doesn't mean that I could not then come back and restart. And just because I'm here doesn't mean that there aren't challenges that happen. Right? And we'll talk about that here in just a minute. The heat model. This is a model that is so important, that lets you know the things, the triggers that push you in a direction that throws you off of your course, that throws you off of your rhythm, that throws you off of your plan. Habits, the habits that we form, the habits that we have ingrained in us, those habits are there, and they are cues. They're cues that push us in a direction where we don't want to go. Emotions will bleed through, they will eat through, they will tear down the decisions that we've made. And so being able to know where you are, to be mindful, to be able to be emotionally intelligent, and be able to put things in place to manage those emotions so that they don't derail you. And then, of course, access. I went to the grocery store today to buy some things. As I said, I was doing some videos. And I was walking down that cashew aisle, right? The aisle with the nuts and all that stuff. Oh yeah, and those are my things. And I can't bring those things into the house, right? So I've got to get some, and they have to be things that I keep on the outside, right? I may eat some of them, but I don't bring them in, because the access, having access to food, having access to those things that we know are some of the places that we struggle, that will derail us. Those are triggers for us. And then, of course, taste. The taste is the place where we often, and sometimes we are unaware of what's causing us. We're never chasing food. We're always chasing what the food is doing for us. The food calms us. It takes us back to a memory. It helps us to avoid things, right? So it's not always that we're feeling something, but sometimes we're using food to avoid something. And so habits, emotions, access, and taste, that's the heat model. And then our call to action here. 1, join the challenges. Don't let the things that we're doing just be things that you hear and be videos or even podcasts or even blogs that you listen to or you read and then you put it on the shelf. All of them are with the intention of implementing the things that we are learning. In the month of January, we talked about finding out your why. Why do you want to be healthy? What's the driving force behind where you're heading? In February, it was to begin learning how to fast for a 24-hour period. We just talked about that. That's the goal. These are the challenges. Every single month, there's a challenge. In the month of March, was to figure out which of the heat elements were the things that push you. Right? For me, I'll tell you, I've got 3 of them. It's emotions, access, and taste. Emotions, access, and taste. And isn't it interesting that spells eat? Right? Emotions, access, and taste. What's yours? Maybe it's a habit. Maybe it's those social cues. Maybe it's the fact that the taste of that food reminds you of a place where you want to be, or a better time you feel in your life, or it takes you back. It's a connection. I have a connection. My taste is a connection with my dad, who used to buy hot dogs, Chinese food, and pizza. Okay, so which one is yours? That was the month of March. In the month of April, we learned how to create meals. We learned how to create a 7-day meal plan. And your job, your challenge, was to be able to create a meal that was tasty, that minimized added sugar, that had minimized processing, that had healthy fats, lean protein, that was tasty, appropriate portion sizes, that had some starchy vegetables, some non-starchy vegetables, right? So that was the challenge in the month of April. In the month of May, just last month, the challenge was to begin mentoring somebody. Find someone that you could teach the new year, new you process, that you could bring along with you. There are over 1 billion people on the planet who either have who either have diabetes or are pre-diabetic. And so you can be a voice of change, right? Find someone that you can mentor in this process. New year, new you. Don't keep it to yourself. And then this month is to make sure that you are talking to your healthcare provider, your healthcare team, and you are looking at those labs. Remember, we did a show on labs that you need to be looking at. Those labs that are indicators of health and are labs that we use to do screening, so that if something's going on, that we catch those in time, right? So that was our challenge. Join the challenges. Don't just let the videos come and go by. Number 2, tell your story. When you show up, when you're here, let us know what's going on. Like Jennifer said earlier, she completed a 49-hour fast this week. When we hear Jennifer's story, when we hear Steve, who's in the chat, I see right there right now, when we hear his story, then people know, I know, you know that we can do it. You can do it. If they can do it, so can you. And when you hear about challenges, like I shared the challenge a couple of days ago, then you know you're not by yourself, right? So share your story and then invite someone. Once again, don't let this be something that you just keep to yourself. You can be a voice of change in your community, in your family, on your job, at your church, at your doctor's office, at your grocery store, in your community center, wherever you are. You can be a voice to help people get better. So don't keep it to yourself. Send a link to someone. Say, hey, let's go watch this show together. Okay. And so that is our call to action, because we want us all to be moving in a direction to improve our metabolic health, and the community that you're part of, the community that you grow, the community that you improve, the community that you speak into, is a growing community that is here to help and to support one another. Hey, just want to hop over and say hello to Steve, who's one of our community members. Hey, Steve, glad that you are here. Steve is saying hello, Jennifer. We said congratulations to Jennifer, yes. And then Jennifer is saying thank you, Steve. Awesome. So thank you for all of those of you who are out there, and I do see you on the other social media platforms. Thanks for hanging out with us and spending some time. It is now less than 1 hour before I get to my 72-hour end of the fast. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to break the fast with. I did a lot of cooking this evening. As I said, I was doing some video for some of our upcoming shows. So there's some stuff out there. I do have a nice plate that I created. In fact, let me see if you guys will hang on for just a minute. I may run out there and grab the. Well, no, because we're gonna save it. We're gonna save it for the show. All right. And Jennifer saying congratulations on the fast, Jennifer. Thank you. Oh, awesome. All right. Well, y'all, as always, I am always excited to be in this space with you, my community members, in this space to share with you, our larger community audience, and to be able to be demonstrating some of the things that we're doing. right? So keep an eye out for more. As I always say, this is Dr. Dwain Woode. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here on the channel, I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health in your life, avoid complications, and go to the next level this year. New year, new you. Have a great weekend, and we will see you on Monday, 7 p.m. Central, right here on the show. And keep an eye out for some of the recasts that we're going to be seeing. Like I said, we're doing some new things. Keep an eye out for that, and let us know that what you're doing if you see us in the social media space. Have a great evening. Good night.